The children of Israel had been traveling through the wilderness for quite some time. Months had passed since leaving Egypt, and there was a lot of them. They were searching for something, a new home, the promised land the Lord had spoken about. But there was one small detail. They didn't actually know where it was. That's where Moses came in. The Lord had called Moses to be their prophet. And when the time came, the Lord would tell Moses when they had reached the place prepared for them. So the people followed him. They kept traveling, but the wilderness was hard. The desert was hot. And sometimes people even forgot the miracles they had already seen. They had almost forgotten they were slaves. They had forgotten the bricks and the whips and the long days of hard labor. Instead, they looked at their dinner and sighed.
Manna, manna, flipper flap, foo, what is it? Manna, manna, Droppity, do, it's fresh and new. Scooper-dee, scoop in a wobble-dee, hide it for later, it's gone, it's not. Manna, manna, flibber fat, foo, what is it? Manna, manna, God sends it fresh for me and you. Plinky, plop, plop, it's all on the ground. Ziggle-dee, zag, it's all around. Manna, 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 fresh every morning for me and you.
God was literally feeding his people in the wilderness. A miracle and a sign. But after a while, some people stopped seeing it as a miracle. They only saw the menu, and there was only one thing on it. And soon, the complaining began. Remember the fish we ate in Egypt? Oh, how I miss it. Oh, and the cucumbers. And the melons. And the onions and the garlic. They had forgotten the chains. They had forgotten the miracles. Instead, they sighed and said, manna again? Manna for breakfast, manna for lunch, and manna for dinner. I have an idea, manna pancakes, manna stew, and manna loaf, it's manna, manna, manna. And the complaining spread throughout the whole camp, like a bad cough. Soon, even Moses' own family got caught up in the trouble. Moses' brother Aaron and his sister Miriam began questioning Moses and complaining about him. Why is Moses the leader? Has he gone crazy? Why should we listen to him? But the Lord reminded them of something important. Moses was his prophet. The Lord had chosen Moses to guide the people. But not everyone listened. Eventually, the Israelites reached the edge of the land God had promised them. At last. Whew! They knew this was the land the Lord had prepared for them. But before entering, Moses sent 12 spies to explore it first. For 40 days, the spies traveled through the hills and valleys of the land. And when they returned, they carried amazing news. The land was rich and beautiful. The fruit was enormous and delicious. In fact, one cluster of grapes was so large it had to be carried on a pole between two men. 10 of the spies began to talk about how the land was meh, not so great. And worse, giants living there. Scary giants. We look like grasshoppers next to them, they said. And fear spread throughout the camp. But 2 spies saw the same land very differently. Joshua and Caleb stood up and said the Lord would help them. Yes, their cities are strong, they said. Yes, the people are big, but the land is good, and the Lord is with us. 2 different perspectives. But the people listened to the fearful voices, and instead of trusting the Lord, many of the Israelites refused to enter the promised land. Because of that choice, the Lord said the people would wander in the wilderness for 40 years. The promised land was right there in front of them, but fear kept them from walking in. Years passed, and once again the people began to complain. They lost focus. Later, their camps were infested by poisonous snakes. Uh-oh. Many were bitten, and many died. The people cried for help. So the Lord told Moses to do something unusual. He commanded Moses to make a serpent out of brass and lift it up on a pole where everyone could see it. Anyone who had been bitten could be healed. But there was one simple thing they had to do. Look. Just look up at the serpent. Some people looked and were healed, but others refused. That's just silly. I ain't looking at that. Maybe they thought it was too simple. Maybe they were stubborn. Maybe they doubted it would work. But those who looked were healed. Many years later, prophets explained what that moment meant. The brass serpent was a symbol of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Just like the Israelites could look to the serpent and live, we can look to Jesus Christ with faith and be healed. So what do these stories teach us? 3 powerful lessons. First, follow the prophet. The Lord guided his people through Moses. When the people listened, they were protected. Second, choose a mindset of faith. 10 spies saw giants. We can't do it! Joshua and Caleb saw the same land and said, the Lord is with us. And third, look to Jesus Christ. So remember the 3 lessons from the wilderness. Follow the prophet, choose faith instead of fear, and look to our Savior, Jesus Christ. Those 3 things can guide us through any wilderness. Thumbie Challenge. The Faith or Fear Challenge. Gather your family and take turns acting out different situations. For example, you hear a loud noise in the dark. You have a big test at school. You want to try something new and feel a little nervous. What would you do? Talk about what would a fear response be or a faith response be. Then practice saying one thing you could do to choose faith instead. Remember, just like Joshua and Caleb, we can choose to see challenges through the eyes of faith. Rebel not ye against the Lord, neither fear ye the people in the land. The Lord is with us, fear them not. Numbers 14:9. Our new Thumbie Club is amazing. Scripture video games, exclusive videos, printable downloads, and so much more. Head over to thumbfollowme.com and join our Thumbie Club. Thank you so much for your support. Oh, before you go, check out some of this amazing artwork. Thanks for watching, my Thumbie friends, and see you next time on Thumb Follow Me.